He's done some Patriot stuff. And now he's sold like Red Sox.
He's had it all.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
And split second.
Typical
Three yesterday.
being wiser. It's like listening to
Eastep has played well. He's only a junior.
seventh grade.
So,
Yeah. But he was our starter for last season too, right?
there's a great
I walk in and
little
they got
nugget out there that
instead of the socks.
he stays healthy.
At home with no sound. And then they switched it over
Next year,
to the red sound. They closed at 10:30. They didn't even stay open.
under Ramsey that has started for 6 years and played
It wasn't super
since.
I think people
Really?
Yeah, and I think Peyton is the only other one. So.
Zach, any injury updates coming out of Monday?
I think overall we came out pretty clean, and so we'll manage it day to day. But I didn't come away thinking we're going to be losing anybody after last game, so feel good about it.
Was Taylor Brett limited in his availability on Monday?
No, I mean he dealt with a hamstring early last week, but thought he fell through everything okay. We got some corners we can rely on, so we're not afraid to rotate those guys through.
Was that just a performance thing then that you just feel more consistent?
We're just always trying to find the guys that are performing the best in the moment, and felt like we had some good options there.
Do you think Shamar has a chance this week?
We'll see. We'll manage through the week, but he's progressing along. We'll see if he can go this week. I couldn't give you a great answer on that one right now.
What about Joyner?
No, he won't practice today.
Joyner?
Who's that?
Charlie Joyner? Jones, I'm sorry.
He won't practice today. We'll get him through the week and see where he's at.
Zach, what can you do as a coaching staff to help Jake, and maybe what can Jake do to better help himself?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is my job to help Jake and find ways to give our guys the best chance to help Jake as well. So I know that's a very broad answer, but each defense is a little bit unique. I think it's going to be nice playing at home, being able to use our verbal cadence, allow us to do some things that maybe is a little more difficult to utilize on the road, knowing you're going to be late with the play call and all that kind of stuff, getting to the line of scrimmage. So I'm optimistic right now that we put together a really good plan. I'm excited to get to work, practice today. We're all accountable that 3 points isn't good enough, 10 points isn't good enough. Our expectation is that we have to score a lot to take pressure off our defense, put pressure on the opponent. We have not done that the last 2 weeks in particular. And it really starts with me on offense, getting those guys in a rhythm, create some momentum. Again, so our defense isn't out there all day.
Zach, after watching the film Monday night, what is the best starting point for getting to the root cause of all the penalties?
Well, you got to look at each one of them individually. One of them was a 4th and 2 they called on Ted for his head bob. That only comes up on the road. Sometimes that will be called, sometimes it won't. One of them was an illegal formation with the tackle being back. That's something that they're on every single rep, every single tackle. We have to do a better job playing within the lines there. 2 were false starts by a rookie guard. That we got to clean that up. That's something we can't allow us to set ourselves back. And then one of them was a procedural 3rd and long. We got stuck in the wrong formation on 3rd, so we took the delay game instead of trying to make it right on a 3rd and 15 or calling a timeout. We took a change. Whether it was the call came in, the huddle call, whatever it was, when we lined up, we could see we weren't right. And so instead of banging a tight end on 3rd and 15, timeout on 3rd and 15, we took the delay. So those were, to my recollection, all of them. The false starts we can't have. We have to line up appropriately with our tackles. Again, something every team's warned about every game. It's a big point of emphasis for the league right now. So those are things that are nothing to do with Denver, nothing to do with Detroit, all things we have to do better at. We prided ourselves on being a disciplined team. There's been exceptions in the past where we haven't been, but I would say through and through, we've been a very disciplined team and too many penalties on unforced stuff the other night.
Coach, those are 2 tough losses in a row. You're a dad. What do you do? What do you say to these guys to keep them up and ready to go?
Well, I mean, this is part of playing the NFL is dealing with adversity. Every team at some point is going to face some adversity. We're facing it early in the season. We've done this before. And so that's part of our job is to come to work, ready to roll, giving our best, have a sense of urgency, not hang our heads because we've lost 2 games. That's unacceptable to me. Urgency is the word I would say. Has our standard been acceptable on every single play in the last 2 games? I would say it hasn't been. So you got to look within yourself. Is my standard acceptable? Hey, it wasn't that bad. Well, but that bad's not good enough. It's got to be great. And this week on a short week, I expect our guys to hold themselves to that standard. I'll hold them to that standard. Hold myself to that standard. And we have to be great. We can't. Anything less than that is unacceptable right now where we're at. We just got to find a way to get our 3rd win and get it quickly and build on that momentum from that.
How would you evaluate Jake Browning so far?
I think it's not an evaluation of Jake Browning. It's an evaluation of all of us on offense. We all have to do our part to put ourselves in the best position possible to go score points. And that's me giving Jake everything he needs, giving the linemen everything they need. Really, first and foremost, as the head coach, it's not a reflection on one player. It's on me. And so I've got to get ourselves in a better position to be able to go.
That being said, though, but how do you feel like how's he?
I'm not giving a grade on a single player. I'm just saying I think we can all support our quarterback a little bit better.
To that end, Zach, there was a lot of talk about improving the running game going into Denver and wanting to have more balance and whatnot. Based on what you have seen, what is this? What did you see from the running game?
I thought our guys came off the ball. I thought they gave us some opportunity. There weren't explosives that we gained there. I felt better about it coming out of that game than I had the previous game. And so, again, we just got to continue to make improvement each week. Each team's going to present some different structures we got to deal with, different personnel we got to deal with. So the scheme can evolve a little bit each week. But I felt like there was improvement there. Again, kind of talking about the standard, where we should be in order to do all the things that we set out to do before the year. We're not there yet. And I'm not going to say that there's time to do that, but we do need to continue to improve every single week so that as this thing gets going, we're rolling, feel really good about that.
Do you feel like you need to add competition at quarterback for Jake at this point?
I don't. I think with every position, we're always assessing. That's Duke's job. That's the personnel department. They do a great job of that, presenting us options when Joe went down of other guys we can bring in the room as well. So we thoroughly exhaust that. I've got a ton of confidence in Jake. I'm unwavering in that. I've seen the best of Jake. I know that we can do a great job supporting him to where he can go win games for us. So I feel extremely confident in Jake Browning.
How did you think Jalen played Monday and will he start again this week?
Yes, he will. I felt like he did some good things for us against a really, really difficult front. I mean, he's got some all-pro players up there that he had to do battle with. And again, I'm not going to say that anybody played at a Pro Bowl level for us, but to say in his first start on the road in Denver against that front, I was pleased with what Jalen did, and I think he continued to build off of that. And I really liked his demeanor throughout the game. You know, I spent time over there with those linemen, and was really pleased with the demeanor that he had, and we just got to continue to build off of that.
They said when you guys drafted him, he was here the first couple of weeks, people said he acted like a 10-year vet, and I wonder what those,
There's a maturity to him, certainly. When you meet him, when you just watch him go about his business, obviously it's the first year in the league, but there's certainly a maturity to Jalen that you appreciate, that you feel like when you give him a coaching point or instruction, he's, okay, I got it. And not something you're going to have to remind him about, ability to self-correct when something doesn't go right. I think instead of giving him, hey, this is what it should have been differently, he can speak it very quickly on what he can do to better himself. And so he's a guy that's over this time here already has played a lot of different spots for us. We're trying to let him settle in at guard, and I'm pleased with the progress that he's making and the direction that he's in right now.
How was he pregame on the field? You know,
my number one most hated thing on planet Earth is pregame on the field. So that's, if you ever watch me, I let the players do their things. I don't ever read into a guy had a great pre. It's like when I was in 8th grade shooting threes before a game. Like I might be red hot and stink in the game and might miss 100 and pregame and be awesome once I get to the game. And so I've always, since 8th grade at a tournament, I can remember specifically what I'm talking about. I've stopped reading into warm-ups, how guys do or don't do. I pay very little attention to it. If somebody has an injury issue, it's brought to my attention. But if you ever watch me in pregame, I'm doing everything I can to just think about the game ahead and let the players do their own thing. And I don't pay much attention to it.
Schedule is.
You got me on a rant there because pregame's like my arch nemesis.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. No,
Schedule
that's
is
good.
schedule, Zach, and you knew that Detroit would be on a short week, Pittsburgh, a couple of weeks will be on a short week. But
Yeah.
when you're preparing for an offense like Detroit, the explosiveness they're
Yeah.
capable of on a short week, biggest challenges you need to address.
Well, the physical part is difficult this week because we got to be mindful getting back at 5 a.m. and making sure these guys are rested and we get the above the neck work we get today. So that's what you'll see today more on the field. There's a lot on the players there. You know, it is a tough task. I've got a lot of respect for the job Dan and his staff do on offense. Coach Jared for 2 years, got a ton of respect for him. And so it's a tough task. There's going to be some above the neck stuff early in the week. Our guys have to own it. So when we make the physical reps tomorrow and Friday, we make the most of them because it'll be less this week than normal. I trust our guys will be able to do that. We just got to be able. They got to do it on Sunday. So I'm excited to watch how they handle the week. And I think in past years they've handled this week very well. And so we got to do more of the same.
After the last couple of weeks, how does your process look this week in terms of, acting as a play caller and how you want the offense to look? When you have the last couple of weeks that you did, what does that look like as you get ready for Sunday?
Well, I think it's a unique week again because we're short a day. So you got a lot of work to do and not as many hours. And our guys have done a great job over the weekend trying to prepare for this. I get up to speed more yesterday, not so much before the Denver game. So again, we haven't changed a lot to our process. It's a process I believe in, whether people want to hear that or not. It served us well over the years. And just because we face some adversity and haven't done our best the last 2 weeks doesn't mean we're going to scrap everything and do a whole new operation. We do have to find the things that we can hang our hat on to do well that give us confidence, how to feature our best players. And so, again, that's no different than what we've tried to do these last couple of weeks. We just haven't been as successful. But, again, I've got a lot of faith in our staff and our players that we'll come together and create some momentum for ourselves.
How much fun is this matchup for you just personally, knowing Dan, as long as you have, kind of, going back to Miami, like, how you ever look back and reflect on how there's a lot going on?
Yeah, no. I mean, those are, I have tremendous memories with Dan. I mean, Dan and I go back further than anybody would ever realize, but got a lot of respect for him. He's done an unbelievable job. I do reflect back on in 2021 when we went up there his first year. I don't think they'd won a game yet. I could be wrong. Maybe they'd won one. I don't think they'd won any. But knowing what they were building, you could tell they played with a lot of undrafted free agents on defense, and you could just tell they had the identity of their coaching staff, their head coach, the way that they played. And they might not have had all the talent in the world then, and we got the best of them that day, but you could see something that was building in the future, whether people believed it at the time or not. It was very clear. And so now you're here in 2025, and they've had the success they've had over the years. They have the success they've had this year, winning 3 in a row. It's a really good football team. I love personally playing these types of games. These are my favorite games to play. This is why we do it. Again, our backs against the wall a little bit going in this game off of 2 losses. That's perfect. I like to see how everybody responds, who lives in fear, who thrives in the adversity. It's a great opportunity for a coach to really assess what guys are made of, myself included. And so again, it's a tremendous opportunity that we are not running from, we are running directly into.
When the offense is struggling the way you guys are right now, how much of that bleeds into the defensive game plan, where maybe a little more conservative?
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to bleed into the game plan. I'll be foolish if I don't think at some point in the second half of a game when the offense isn't doing it and you're having to go out there on the field again and again, at some point it wears you out, and so I thought particularly start of second half, Denver got the ball, our guys got them to punt several times in a row, and then finally that last drive, we got worn down a little bit and have a mental error there at the very end, and they score 7 points. But when you talk about playing complementary team football, that's what I'm talking about. Like we've even if we're not scoring touchdowns necessarily, we're kicking a field goal, we're possessing the ball and driving and giving those guys a break so they can come out with some confidence and energy. And so again, I know that offensively we've put the defense in a tough spot, particularly these last 2 weeks with the turnovers and giving them short fields and not giving them something to, okay, offense went down, scored a touchdown, now let's go do our job and get this stop. So we'll come together. It's still early in the season. And again, there's the nice thing about a locker room is there's no finger pointing. Everybody takes accountability. What can I do better? And we'll find our rhythm and be in good shape. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
fun.
You do give me a- Zach, I'll put